So this was the last site visit that we had gone to, and it was a place called the Sultan Food Bazaar. And this was again another market, and this market as well served halal meat. Now, right when I walked in, again, this market was very, very small, um, very crowded again, and right when I walked in, the people said hello, how was I? Very welcoming and friendly, and again, willing to help whenever I needed. Now, I'm going to start off with the left photo. So, the photo of the picture with the different types of cheeses. Now, in this photo, this aisle was completely filled with dairy. So in traditional Morocco, you would never see anything like this, especially because it's cheese, it's dairy, and the abundance of it. You know, America is used to mass production, so you would never see such mass production in traditional Morocco. And also, Morocco, they normally don't consume such high quantities of dairy or milk or yogurt or anything like that, let alone cheese. So this was not a good representation of traditional Morocco because they don't consume a lot of dairy, and if they do, it's coconut milk, so it's still not true dairy. So I thought this was very interesting that this is a way of the U.S. kind of Americanizing traditional Morocco because you'd never see something like this. Now, moving to the right of that photo is actually an entire goat. So that is the goat's body. The heads are cut off and they are hanging above the body. They are skinned and ready to be bought in and consumed. So this was very, very different for an American to view and see when you go into a market. You never see, it's very rare to see the entire animal. In the US, we're used to seeing food and our meat completely dead and basically look like it hasn't even come from an animal before. So I thought this was very interesting coming here and seeing the entire animal and the head hanging above it, especially. And in fact, the head to the left, the most left head, that black thing hanging in the middle of it is actually its tongue. So, and the eyeballs are actually still in it as well. So almost everything of the entire goat is left remaining. So they didn't really cut much off besides the skin and the feet. So again, this meat is halal, so it is blessed and it is cut a certain way and cleaned a certain way. I again didn't see a lot of chicken or lamb. In both markets, I saw a lot of goat. So, goat. They in traditional Morocco they do consume goat. However, it is not the main meat that they consume. So I thought it was very interesting how both markets had an abundance of goat. And I also noticed that they didn't cut or they didn't use machines to cut the meat that they were cutting. They only cut it by hand. They were only trimming it by hand, slicing it by hand. Any cutting or slicing or slaughtering that they were doing was by hand. There was no machinery. You see a lot in US grocery stores, they have machines to slice ham or cheese or anything. It's a bunch of machine. No one hand cuts things really anymore because mass production, and we need things to produce faster and be put out for people to buy them faster. So I thought, again, very interesting how everything was cut by hand and not done by machinery. So overall, I think that this market did an okay job representing traditional Morocco. Halal meat, again, something traditional Morocco consumes all the time. However, dairy they rarely consume, and goat they do consume, just not as much as these two markets portray. But overall, the people there were very nice. It was a very small market. The people there were very friendly, and it felt as though people weren't in a hurry to get you out of there, and people weren't rushing in there and pushing and shoving. Usually in US markets, that's usually what happens. People are constantly on the go and it's very, very busy and people are rushing. But in this market, people were very nice, taking their time, being polite, very well mannered. So overall, I think this market did a decent job of representing traditional Morocco. Just a few differences.